South Member of Parliament Caroli Omondi has declared that he will never again contest for any political seat in an Orange Democratic Movement ticket and that his days inside the party are numbered. Speaking during a televised interview on Monday, March 23rd, 2026, Omondi stated plainly that he is on his way out of ODM and that the party as originally conveyed by the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga no longer exists in its current form. His remarks represent the most direct public yet by a sitting legislature ahead of the gathering political storm inside the party. Omondi went further, predicting that ODM will splinter within a matter of months. He described what he expects will be a clean fracture, one faction retaining the official party documents and structure, and other working away with the ideological base and the supporters who remain loyal to the values Raila built on the party's own. In his framing, the bureaucratic shell of ODM and its political soul as already two different things, and the formal split is merely a matter of time. The Super South Legislature traced the beginning of this rupture to a meeting held in Transmara in December 2025. He described that gathering as the moment ODM was effectively handed over a transaction he refused to participate in, having declined an invitation to attend. He did not name or convey the meeting or who benefited from it, but his framing was unambiguous. The party was surrendered to interest he does not align with, and the act of surrender marked the point of no return for him personally. Omondi declared that the ideological project Raila built does not require the ODM party as its vehicle. He stated that he intends to continue practicing what Raila believed in and thought in regardless of which party structure he operates within. Omondi's loyalty to Raila's political legacy and continued membership of the current ODM are now two separate and incompatible proportions. His exit trajectory is already taking shape through a new institutional home. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Chairman Uhuru Kenyatta recently appointed Omondi as the Coalition Secretary General, replacing Suna East MP Junet Mohammed in that role. Omondi is also expected to take over from Mohammed as the Coalition Parliamentary Caucus Chair. The appointment positioned him as one of the most senior figures in the Azimio structure, giving him an organized political platform outside ODM from which to operate heading into 2027. Omondi has been explicit about what he intends to do with that platform. Speaking the previous night, he stated that as Azimio Secretary General, the last coalition Raila led before his death, he will ensure the alliance field a presidential candidate and a running mate in 2027. He emphasized that the ticket must be drawn from within the broader Azimio fraternity, including communities and parties that stood with Raila in 2022 and deserve a reciprocity. He named Kalonzo Musyoka's Wiper Democratic Movement and Martha Karua's People's Liberation Party as part of the fraternity, both of which are currently associated with former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua as United Alternative Government. On the question of Luo Nyanza's political direction ahead of the 2027, Omondi argued that residents of the region are not yet committed. He dismissed the wave of public declaration supporting President William Ruto that have emerged during the president's recent tour of the region. characterizing those show of enthusiasm, including the so-called two-term chants at rallies, as manufactured by government-allied leaders rather than reflecting genuine grassroots sentiments. He specifically pointed to a crowd at Mbita as an example of what he described as hired support. That assessment places Omondi in direct conflict with Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi, who has been one of the most prominent Nyanza voices arguing for the region to back Ruto in 2027. Mbadi, speaking at the interdenominational church conference in the region, stated unequivocally that Nyanza is behind the president and intends to support his re-election bid with the expectation of taking over national leadership in 2032. Omondi's counter-narrative that the region is waiting rather than decided directly challenged Mbadi's positioning and signaled that the contest for Nyanza's 2027 allegiance remained wide open. The internal context within ODM gives Omondi's declaration additional weight. The party has been consumed by a factional war since Raila Odinga died last year. Two rival camps have emerged. Leader ground allied with ODM party leader Oburu Odinga and associated with the official party apparatus, and Linda Mwananchi being led by Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna and allied with the grassroots opposition to what Sifuna's camp characterized as state capture of the party. Sifuna has consistently framed the struggle as a fight to prevent ODM from being absorbed into the Ruto's government political machineries. The Oburu-led faction has in turn moved to consolidate its control. The group has indicated that the upcoming ODM National Delegates Conference will formally ratify the party's departure from the Azimio coalition, a break that Oburu's allies say has already happened in practice. Omondi's characterization of the NDC as a coronation rather than a genuine election aligns with Sifuna's camp, which has raised procedural objection to how the conference is